Now we're at the Old Barn Antiques here in San Juan Capistrano, and we're going to go in and see if we can find a California Impressionist. I'm not expecting to find a William Wendt or Edgar Payne here, but often there's a piece of art that's overlooked by everyone, passed by everyone, and that could be a hidden masterpiece. Let's go see if we can find it. It's an amateur painting. And that painting is curious to me. Unsigned. Painting on board called Turbulent Ocean. Circa 1970, artist unknown, but they still want $1,400 for it. That's not what we're looking for. Now this is a watercolor by Alfred Birdsley, apparently a listed artist. Listed means he's got an auction record. But it's Bermuda, and I'm looking for California. Oh, 1955, it says. Not a bad watercolor if that's what you're looking for, but it's not what we're looking for. As I discussed earlier in the episode, it's the California Impressionists that I feel are undervalued and underpriced. And so that's the object of our visit today, to see if we can find something that comes close. It won't be Edgar Payne, because Edgar Payne is going to be in a gallery or in an auction, not in an antique store. But it might be someone that's close to them. We'll keep looking. Poster up there by Howard Turpning. Just a poster, it doesn't have any special value, but Howard Turpning is a very well-known, what they call cowboy artist in here in America. Probably one of the best known and very good at it. Just a poster, but interesting artist. Original painting by an M. Cooney. I don't know who M. Cooney is. $350. Nice frame. Not a California Impressionist though. Looks like a watercolor down there. Let me see that. It says beautiful signed watercolor. And then it says winter scene, and then it says print. This is interesting. Pageant of the Masters. 2010, Laguna Beach, California. Down in Laguna Beach every year, they have something called Pageant of the Masters, where people come together, put on costumes, and basically create, with people in costumes, the same scene as a very familiar painting. Pageant of the Masters is a big deal in Laguna Beach. And if you wanted to commemorate it, that's a pretty good deal. Nice frame, nice lithograph, $150, and they said they'll give you 20% off. So I'd be looking at that if I wasn't looking for California Impressionists today. This right here, ubiquitous. It's Maxwell Parrish. You'll see them everywhere. They're just prints, pleasant enough. But in every antique store, in every antique mall, I see at least 2 or 3 prints by Maxwell Parrish. Probably because he was very popular in the day. This is what I call wishful thinking. And it says sale. Antique lithograph of the Gleaners by Jean-Francois Millet. Of course, it's Millet's painting of the Gleaners. And the frame is found, original painting at the Musée d'Orsay in Paris. The frame as found I don't know about that. I'm trying to say this is the same frame on the original painting. I have my doubts. We'll check that. 95 bucks. Let's move on. Very nice etching in a beautiful, beautiful frame. The frame's magnificent, the mat's great. It's signed. And how do I know it's an etching? It's an etching because the image, the print itself is depressed. You'll notice that there's a little depression mark all the way around because the plate on which the etching was made is actually pressed under pressure into the paper. And so you get that depression. And that's one of the keys indicators of an etching, is that depression in the print. Very nice, but not what I'm looking for. Keep looking. Bronze. Antique bronze. 800 bucks. No signature in the base. Couldn't tell you who it is. Original watercolor. $95. It's an amateur painting though. You can always tell an amateur because they make mistakes on the trees. Branches on trees don't get thicker as they go up, they get thinner. All right, I told you there was a painting that everybody walks past, and here it is. It's right there in that corner. This is Curtis Chamberlain. It's a painting of Laguna Beach. He wasn't one of the top 7 California Impressionists, but he was close to them. He was in the community. This painting is $695, a good price for a California Impressionist, and it's historical. Curtis lived from 1852 to 1925, so he was right in the neighborhood of those California Impressionists when he painted this. Very good. There's a watercolor in here, very nicely framed by an English, British, Canadian painter. Mountain scene, probably the Rockies. Very nice, $350, watercolor landscape. Nice as that is, it's not what I'm after. That Laguna Beach painting is very nice. However, this picture is masterful. It's pastel. It says pastel landscape, signed Ward, $395. Now I have a suspicion who Ward is. That's the only attribution. They just put the 4-letter word, his name, Ward. But I have a sneaking suspicion this may be Charles Ward from Los Angeles. This is a beautiful piece. We'll have a look at the back, see if there's anything else we can find out. Wow. Very nice framing job. That's called one-piece linen. It's got a gold fillet, a very heavy frame, but it's completely sealed. There's no other information. But this is a masterwork. That's the hidden masterpiece everybody's been walking past in this store. So as much as I like the Curtis Laguna Beach painting, I'm going to buy the Ward. Not exactly sure who it is, but I have a pretty good suspicion that it's the Los Angeles painter Charles S. Ward, 1850, died in 1937. Here's our hidden masterpiece. If you watch this video all the way to the end, you're the person who I wrote my book for, A No-Nonsense Guide to Buying Art. You can find it in the link in the description below. Happy hunting.